This van can parallel park itself. Alright guys, it's time for the van tour. Right behind me is a brand new 2020 Ford Transit 350. It's a beauty. We call her Bessie, and you gotta name big vehicles. You just gotta do it. I wanted to give you a full tour of it. We have been waiting for this van for a long time. Right off the bat, some of our must-have features that we've been waiting for in a big van like this. All-wheel drive. That was a necessity because if we put a boat in the water, tow a trailer, something, we needed that. It's not four-wheel drive, it's all-wheel drive, but there's different modes for going through mud, snow. You can switch different modes on it. And probably one of the most important features was the automatic door. We have a lot of friends that have this same van, and we asked what their biggest complaint was on it, and it was not having an automatic door. This was a game changer for us. You know, in the minivan, you push a button. We had a different van before, the Nissan Envy, and just this giant door, and it was so hard for the little kids to do. So the automatic door was an absolute game changer for us. But let's go have a look inside the van. First of all, before we go in, the height of the van, this is the mid-roof. The Ford Transit has the low, the mid, and the high roof. We went with the mid-roof because honestly, that's what would fit in our garage. So I would have done the high roof, but wouldn't fit in our garage. We got a few inches to spare with this. It is a 15 passenger. We upgraded quite a few things in it. The salesman said this was the most loaded Ford Transit he had ever done. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but first of all, we got leather seats in it. I felt like having kids, that was an absolute necessity. And it's got quite a bit of headspace. I'm 6'2". I can't stand straight up in it, but pretty close. I can walk around in it fine. My wife and kids, they can all walk around in it just fine. There's a ton of space in this thing. Right now, there's no TV in it. Didn't come with one. We can get one installed. I don't know if we're gonna. We don't watch a lot of TV as a family, and if we do long road trips, the kids have iPads, so I'm not sure that we'll do that. But let me just kind of show you the seating configuration. First of all, the two front seats. There's a walkway here if April does need to come through the back. There's 3 seats on the first row. Let me close this so we have some good light coming in here. Beautiful. So we've got 3 seats in the front. We've got an aisleway all the way to the back. So seat here, 2 seats there, 2 seats in the back. There's 4 seats. Each seat has its own seat belt, so there's not this, seat belts coming from the ceiling, so that was awesome. Each seat reclines just a little bit. Just to give you a little bit, it's kind of like an airline seat where it does recline just a little bit. And some of the seats come out easy and some of them come out difficult. I don't know why they didn't just make them all come out easy, but for example, these two, I'll go back and show you, but they come out really easy. These two come out really, all 3 of these come out really easy if you want to have the whole front open. Just kind of depending on the seating configuration. One bummer in this vehicle is there's absolutely no storage there's no storage back there. So if you're either filling up the seats with stuff or putting a cargo hitch on the back. Some people put roof racks on these and a ladder on the side. We may look into that eventually. But, okay, a couple other features inside here. Each row, we've got, let's get this back. Each row has USB, which is awesome. USB, 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 and I'm sure we have one up here too, do we not? Oh yeah, and we've got one more USB in the front. Couple things from the driver's perspective. Oh. From the driver's perspective, I'll have to take you for a ride on it. I'm 6'2", and this pushes the limits of being barely having enough room for me to really stretch my legs out when I'm driving long distance, but it's enough. A taller person than me might feel a little cramped up here. It's not super big. Some features that I really like. I really like this. You know, I always drive with my phone here, and it's always plugged in, so it is really nice to have a USB up here, optional port there. And I like having this storage on the dash, so things you can set here. We've got a ton of storage up here, up above, headspace. The back doors, I just wanted to show you real quick. They, so these two middle seats come out really easy, and it's just pulling this and lifting it out. It's super easy, super slick. These ones on the sides, you know, they're the ones that you can do, but it's gonna take a tool to do it. The door, I believe, does swing super wide. Yeah, so if you do need to load things, you know, it's got the big swing of the door, so that's a nice feature. But we don't even we don't even get back in here very much because there is, like I said, no storage unless we take some seats out, which I right now prefer having the capacity for a lot of people, and then we can just put stuff on the seats if we need to. And it does have full trailer tow package, has trailer brakes connected, so that's nice. For a key, it does use an actual key. Our last two vehicles did not, but some people think some people get nervous without, you know, it's a push button start. So this way I've had somebody get about 5 hours away from their house one time with a push start, and then they realized they didn't actually have the key fob. So some people think this is good, some people think it's bad. Just I think it's personal preference. It does have a remote start. It's a separate little remote that comes with it. But it is nice to be able to, you know, if you're in church or whatever, or at a restaurant and you're about to leave, it is nice to be able to start it and get the vehicle nice and warm or cooled off in the summertime. It's got seat heaters on it that work amazing. All the heaters work. It does have adaptive cruise control, which is a feature that is amazing. What adaptive cruise control is basically, if you know, it's cruise control where it keeps the speed, but it also keeps a certain distance away from a car in front of you. So if you're on the freeway, you pretty much don't have to hit the brakes at all. It also has lane assist, which means, you know, it's not like a self-driving Tesla or anything, but it can sense when you're in between lanes, and if you do sway a little bit, it physically pushes you back into the lane. So it's a safety thing, and it is pretty nice. You know, like I said, it's not self-driving, but there is one thing that is self-driving. This van can parallel park itself. The first time I heard that, I was like, there's no way this van can park itself. So we went and found two vehicles in the neighborhood, and it did it, and it was terrifying. It's not like it goes slow or anything. It just zips right into the spot. So I'm going to attempt to demonstrate that feature for you guys. I'm going to put two of our vehicles on the road, and hopefully it does that. I don't know if they have any liability, like if it doesn't park properly, if it hits something doing the self-park, but I didn't know that was a feature on this. I don't know how much I'll actually use it, but just the fact that the technology's in this big 15-passenger van is pretty amazing. It does have a really good backup camera. It's got a few different views to it, kind of a more wide view, getting the sides of the vehicle, so that's nice. And it has CarPlay. I don't know if you know exactly what that is, but if you get a chance to have CarPlay in a vehicle, I would totally recommend it. It basically mirrors everything that's happening on your phone. So every app, I have an iPhone, but I love using Google Maps. So, you know, now playing, whatever the player is you're using, it's mirroring what's happening on your phone. Generally, the vehicle drives very smooth. It's, you know, I actually drive a bus, and it is nothing like driving a bus. It feels like I'm driving the minivan. It's super easy to control. One other cool little feature on the screen is it has a front camera. So this is what's happening right in front of me, so I can make sure there's not a kid there, or how close I'm parked to something. We do have music controls on the steering wheel. We've got volume and, you know, skip forward and back. So that's nice. The sound system itself is really not that great in here. I may do an upgrade in the future with it, but it's loud enough. Yeah, the sound system is very basic. Okay, right now we're gonna try out the self-park feature. I'm still honestly a little bit terrified to do it. I've got 2 of my vehicles lined up, and we're gonna see how it does. Okay, so we're signaling. That means we're looking for a spot. It's gonna find it. I've got my 2 vehicles parked over there. Okay, it's got a spot. Space found. Here we go. Van, do your thing. Van is driving itself. Okay, don't crash, please. That would be wonderful. Look at that. Nice and neat. Okay, we're gonna shift to drive. That's so weird. Oh, I love it. Finished. Boom, parallel parked. One other thing that was kind of strange with this van, we were able to order all-weather mats up there. Here, I had to go to a third-party company, WeatherTech. I got a floor mat for this spot and this spot, but nobody sells these back spots, so I'm kind of custom making my own for right in these seats. I thought it was really weird in a van that is meant for hauling kids that doesn't sell. It's just carpet underneath. Turn around here, but overall we love the van. It has Ecoboost in it, so it's actually turbocharged. It has a ton of pickup, a ton of power. Tow capacity is high. I can't remember the exact tow capacity, but it's up there. It's equal to a 1-ton truck. But that's the van tour. Look at this thing. It does kind of feel like you're inside of an airplane or something. It is huge. The kids are absolutely loving the space. But thanks for coming along the van tour.